Hello, welcome to Ben Ambitious Inventions YouTube channel. In today's video, we are coming to make photographic projections of this diagram in first angle projection. So without wasting much time, let's go ahead to AutoCAD and start with the process. I am actually going to start everything from scratch, starting from title block creation up to the drawing itself. So let's get started. So you click on new to open a new worksheet for you. The first thing we need to do here is to set our unit. We are working in millimeters, so we need to set our unit to millimeters. So you come to the command line button and type unit. Then click on the units. So you see precision. The precision means whether you are working with decimals or not. In this video, we are not working with decimals because there are no decimals in our diagram. So we just choose 0. Then you come to unit to scale inserted content. It is in inches, but we are working in millimeters. So we change it to millimeters. Then you click OK. Then after that, we need to create our layer properties. To create our layer properties, we come to the top here and click on layer properties. So a menu will come. Then from this first section, you left click on it to add first layer. You left click on it to add another layer. Then from there, let's make it hidden. So we change the name to hidden. So we are creating a hidden line to make our drawings easier. So we need to change the color from white. So let's say I want to use blue. So you click on the blue, then click OK. Then the lines, we want to make it break lines. So we need to load a line from this place. So you click on the load. Then you scroll down to each column. You'll see hidden. So choose any of the hidden lines. Then click OK. Then put your cursor on the hidden that you choose. Then click OK. Now, the light weight, the thickness of the line, let's change that one to 0.15. Then click OK. Transparency to let's make it 5. Then click OK. So this is how to set your hidden lines, or if you want to add center line too, you can just click on this section, then add your center line. Then after that, you can close the pop-up menu. So in case you want to use the hidden line, you just come to the top here. When you click it, you will see two lines. The first two colors, the first one is the normal one for drawing. It is default. And the second one is the one we set, the hidden line. You can have as many as you want, depending on how many settings you made here. So let's begin by drawing our title block. So let's come here and choose rectangle. So let's specify our first point here. Let's say 0, then you click on tab, then you type 0, then you press enter. Then for the horizontal line, you want to make it 594. Then you press on the tab key to move to the vertical. The vertical tool, you want to make it 420. When you are done, then you press enter. So this our rectangle created. Then let's offset this rectangle inwards by 10 millimeters. So you click on the offset button. When you click on the offset button, then you type 10. Then you press enter. And you put your cursor on the rectangle. You left click, then you drag inwards. Then you left click once. So now let's create the bottom divisions down here. To create the bottom divisions, let's click on this and explode it so that you can work with the individual lines. So you can come here and type explode. So you click on the explode, then you choose the inward rectangle, then you press enter. So now we can work with the individual lines. So let's offset this vertical line. Let's offset this vertical line inwards by 150. So you click on the offset button, then you type 150 and you press enter. You left click, then you drag it inwards, you left click. Then you need to offset this bottom horizontal line to by 45. So that one you type 45. Then you press enter. You choose the bottom line. You left click, drag it upwards, then you left click. So now let's trim these two lines. So you type trim. Click on trim. Place your cursor here, left click. On this place to left click. So now let's create the divisions. Remember that after every command, you need to press the escape key to end that command. Then you start with a new command. So the vertical divisions are going to be 150. It is 150, so the divisions are going to be 50 by 50. So you click on offset, you type 50, you press enter. Put your cursor here, you left click, you drag it inwards, then you left click again, then you repeat the same process. So 1, 2, 3, 50 by 50 by 50. Then from the bottom, we are going to offset it upwards by 10, 10. So you choose the offset, you type 10, then you press enter. You put your cursor here, you left click, you bring it upwards, you left click, then you repeat it again, then final one. Press escape. Then let's trim the unnecessary lines. So trim. Here too, we need to trim the lines here. And these lines as well. So this is how to create your title block. So after creating your title block, we need to fill in the needed information. So From here, let's come to text and choose multi-line text. So you specify the place you want to type. So you create a box for it, you left click. As soon as you are done, the insertion point will come. Then you start typing what you want to type. So first of all, let's type UENR. Then we select it. We select the text. Then we come to the top here. The zero there, we change it and type 4. Then you press enter. It will become big. So let's click here, the text editor, that check button. Let's left click on it. So we want to add more text. So we double click on what we typed twice. So 1, 2. Then it will allow you to type more. So you press on enter to move to the next line. Then you type whatever you want to type. So when you finish, you can click on the check button to finish that operation. Then you want to type here too. You come to the text, then you click on multi-line text. You specify the spaces, the space you want to write the text. You draw the rectangle, then you left click. The same process, you type something. So let's say title. So after typing the title, you select the whole title. Then you come to the below the annotative, you type 4, then press enter. You left click on the check button, then you left click on the text again twice. So the insertion point will automatically come. Then you continue typing. So let's say photographic. Then you click on the close button. So you repeat the same process to fill in the remaining informations you want. That is not the purpose of this video. So let's move straight ahead to the orthographic projections. So for orthographic projections, looking at this diagram, we are going to draw this isometric into 2D form. We are converting this into 2D. So for first angle projection, you get the front view, then the top view below it, then the side view on the other part. So let's get started by drawing. So let's go to AutoCAD again. Before we will draw, we need to set the lines that will separate them for the drawing. So to do that, we need to check the drawing, the dimension of the drawing. So I think the biggest dimension here is 60. So let's add 20 to the 60 to make it 80. So 80 times 2 will give us 160. So let's draw a line, a horizontal line let's start with a vertical line. So we are drawing a vertical line of 160. So we come to the line, we left click on it, then we are drawing it here. I am actually going to divide the 160 into 2, but it will be the same process. So we left click. You see our line is not straight because our auto mode is not on. So we come down here, you will see a 90-degree angle there. You click on it. So it will now, if you are drawing, your line will be straight, whether horizontal or vertical. So I want to make it 80 so that I can easily create the horizontal line. So let me type 80, then enter. So you see that the line breaks here, but I still want to continue. So then I add another 80, then I enter, and I can click escape. The lines are 2 because of how I did it. Now let's create the horizontal line. It's because of the horizontal line, that's why I did that, so that I can easily locate the midpoint and draw it easily. So the horizontal line tool, I'm going to create to the right side 80 and to the left side to 80. So I place my cursor in the middle of the line. I left click, then I type 80 and I type enter. I click escape, then another one to the left side 80. So this is how it will actually look like, but not really like this. There should be other lines which will be 10 millimeters from the same line. So let's go to offset, then type 10, press enter. So you click here, you bring it to the right hand side, you left click, you repeat the same process for the bottom line, 10, then to the left hand side as well, that one to 10, the same process, 10. Then for the horizontal line to 10 upwards, 10 downwards, this side to 10 upwards, 10 downwards. It actually looks plenty because of the process I use. I wanted to divide it into the same dimension. That's why I went through all those processes. So now let's begin with the front view. So in isometric projection, one of the most important things to note is about how you are going to make the 2D out of this. So this is the front elevation. So if you look at this point, if you are standing at this point and look at it from the front elevation, you will see a small box with some on top, and then you see the other side. You will see here, then here, only this place, then this place. So we are drawing this, then this in 2D drawing. You can make rough sketches of this on a sheet of paper before you start drawing to make it easier for you. So let's go to AutoCAD. Then let's choose the lines. So from the lines, you left click. So you have to draw it in such a way that it touches this. So looking at the drawing, this baseline is 60. So our line should be 60 away from this. So how do we do that? Let's intentionally just create any line here up to 60. We will delete it later. Then now let's create the raw line. We are drawing it on this, so we don't need to draw any line from here to here. So from the bottom here on this line, so 60, going to the top is going to be 40. Looking at the drawing, so this bottom line is 60, then we go to the top by 40. So we type 40, then enter. Now let's delete this line. We just needed it to draw our vertical line. So now let's delete it. Then from here, we draw another line to the right side, which will also be 20. So referring from the drawing, so far we've drawn this, which is 60, to the top, which is by 40, and this is 20. So this will probably be also 20. So you draw 20 here, then you come down also by 20, then here to 20. So here will be 20, then so remaining one will probably be 40 in dimension, right? So let's get started. So you choose line from here to here is probably 20. And you press enter. Then you come down, that one 2 by 20. You press enter. Then you stretch it to meet this particular line here. Then you click escape. Then you see there is some 20. So there is some 20 on the top here. So let's create that 20. So from here to the top by 20, you press enter. To the right side also by 20, you press enter. Then from the top there, from the top here, connecting to the bottom, so from the top here to join it in 20. So from here to here is 40, and from here to here is 20, here to here 20. Then we join it by a line to the bottom. So this line shouldn't be here because we drew it attached to this line. So let's trim it off. So now you need to make projection line to the button downwards. We need to make projection line downwards. So we come to the top here and choose header. Then we choose line. Then we project all the line downwards. So this is what we are going to use to draw the top view. If you recently use a command and you want to use that same command again, you can press enter so that you can reuse that same command. Okay, so from the hidden lines, let's create a normal line. This hidden line is to make our drawing simple for us and make it aligned with the top one. So let's choose line. So from this place downwards, from the top to the down is 20. You press enter, then you continue by 40. You press enter, then you join it to this vertical line here, then you press escape. Then from the lines again, from this 20 here, you join it straight to this line on this side. So this is how it will look like. This one too, there is a division line, so we need to create another vertical line. Let's trim the unwanted parts. This, then this, then this. Then again, we need to project it to the right hand side. So projecting to the right hand side, we need to create a 45 degrees line from here. So let's turn off the auto mode. Then let's come here and choose hidden. Then let's go to lines. Then from the middle here, we left click. Then we draw 45. So moving it, you see the angles too are changing. So 45. Then you left click. You click on escape. So you project the line to meet this 45. Then you project it upwards. So remember, we are drawing in first angle projection. So you come to line. So from here, you left click. When you meet this line, you left click. Then you send it upwards. Then from this place again, you come to line. From the bottom here, you left click. We need to extend this line small, so let's use the extend to or extend. Okay, I just need this line to meet this line here. That's why I'm using the extend. You left click, then upwards, send it upwards. Let's turn on the auto mode. Okay, let's activate the auto mode, then upwards. So these lines are not necessary. They just help us to draw the projection lines upwards. Then we need to project these ones to meet these lines. So we project from here to here. Then from here. So this is the front the side view. So when viewed from this side, what you see is what you are going to draw. So you see this, then this, and then this one. So you see 60, the height is 20. Then you see another, this will actually be 40, 20 centimeters tall. Then you see another one on the top, right? Okay, so let's create that one. So 20, 20, 20, and this from here to here is 20, right? So let's create that one. Let's use our default line color. From here downwards. And the same from this downwards. This is why it is necessary to use hidden lines, so that your drawings will be easier for you. So you need to trim this. So let's check from here, from the drawing. When you view it from this side, you see this long base, which is 60, and this one, which is probably 40, and the tall one here. So let's check. So this is the base, which is 60. The base was not actually divided, right? Yeah, the base wasn't divided. So let's trim that line there, this line. So that one is hidden. So this is 60. And then on the top you see another 40. This is the 40. Then 20, the straight line upwards. This is it. So in case I cannot see it well, let me trim all the hidden lines so that you can see it well. The hidden lines help us to draw it easily. So this image here is what we've converted into this. So I hope you found this video helpful. Do well to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.